All right. So this is a book that we've already read, okay? This is called How Rocket Learned to Read, okay? And we're going to talk about something very important in this book that we can see in every book that we read, okay? And that's going to be characters, all right? So we're going to go through. First I'm going to read it, and then we're going to flag the pages that have new characters on it, okay? Rocket loved to play. He loved to chase leaves and chew sticks. He loved to listen to the birds sing. Every fall morning after chasing leaves, Rocket would lie down in his favorite spot under his favorite tree. There he'd sniff the neighborhood smells and settle for a good nap. But one day, a little yellow bird startled Rocket. "Aha! My first student! Wonderful!" she sang. Rocket was confused. "Student? I'm not a—" "But if I am your teacher," the bird interrupted, "then you must be my student." Rocket found it hard to argue with this bird. "Can't read? Fantastic," she waved a wing. "Welcome to my classroom." "But I just came here to take a nap," Rocket said. "No, no, there will be no napping in class," declared the big bird, except, of course, during nap time. As Rocket breathed in the crisp air, the little yellow bird hung her banner. "Ah, the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet," she marveled. Opening up a book, the bird began to read. She sang out the story of an unlucky dog named Buster who'd lost his favorite bone. A cool breeze carried her lively voice across the yard. At first, Rocket was disturbed. But before long, he found himself captivated. To Rocket, the story was as delicious as the earthy smells of fall. It was as exciting as chasing leaves. He closed his eyes and listened to every word. As Buster dug and dug under the lilac bush, the bird read, he felt something familiar. Rocket waited. Was it the bone? He wondered. Silence. Was it the bone? He called to the bird. More silence. Was it the bone? Rocket hollered. Suddenly he was rushing to the tree. Well, was it? But the little yellow bird was gone. The next morning, Rocket arrived early. At last, the little yellow bird appeared. "Hello, how wonderful to see you in class," she chirped. "I can tell by your waggy tail that you are well rested." "I'd like to hear the end of the story, please," said Rocket. "That seems like a fine way to start the day," chirped the bird. She gave Rocket a name tag and began to read to him. Every day, Rocket returned to the little yellow bird's classroom. In the morning, the bird taught him a new letter until he had learned all of the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet. Together, they sang out the sounds that each letter makes and spelled the sounds they heard around them. With a G and many R's, they spelled Mr. Barks Growl. Grrr. Right, listen. They spelled the sound of the wind, which was growing colder by the day. Whoosh. Soon they were spelling words like F-A-L-L, fall, for the gusty time of the year, and R-E-D for the color of the leaves. And each afternoon, the bird read a story. She read stories about dogs and birds. She read about leaves changing colors and about birds flying south for the winter. Then one day, the weather turned and the letter banner disappeared. "See you again in the glorious spring," the bird sang. And as she flew into the wintry sky, she called, "Don't forget, words are built one letter at a time." The days grew shorter, and the leaves fell from the trees. The grass became crunchy. Soon Rocket's classroom disappeared underneath the snow. He remembered the little yellow bird's alphabet and practiced his letters. Rocket thought about the bird's sweet chirp while he sounded out words. like D-I-G, dig, and W-I-N-D, wind, and C-O-L-D, cold. He made new friends and spelled their names. Hello, Emma. Hi there, Fred. He spelled everything. S-U-N, sun, M-E-L-T, melt. When Rocket spelled mud, M-U-D, he knew that spring, as it always does, had returned. The breeze blew warmer, the grass grew greener, and a sign appeared. Early the next morning, Rocket rushed to his classroom as he waited, and he spelled W-A-G, wag. Soon the little yellow bird arrived. Aha, my star student, she sang. How wonderful to see you. I can tell by your waggy tail that you are ready for class. Then together they began to read. They read stories about birds flying north in the spring. They read about picnics in the warm sun. And they read about Buster, the lucky dog who found his bone under the lilac bush. And when they were done, they read it again and again and A-G-A-I-N again. All right, guys, so now what we're going to do is I brought some, well, I thought I brought some sticky notes up here. There's some right here. All right, I got some sticky notes. In just a minute, whenever you're with your Reader's Workshop partners, you're going to get some sticky notes too. So let me show you what you're going to do with them. All right, so since today we're talking about characters in a story, we're going to go through and we're going to put a sticky note everywhere we meet a new character, okay? You think you guys can help me with that?
Yeah.
All right, so let's open the book to the very first page. Do we meet a new character on this page?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Who is that? Who is this?
Rocket.
Rocket. All right, so is Rocket a character?
Yeah.
Yes, so we should probably flag that, right? So let's put one of our sticky notes. All right. So we see Rocket again here. Is there anybody else on this page? Over here we've got what? The bird. So is that another character? Yeah.
That's new.
All right, let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. All right, so who do we see here?
Rocket and the bird.
Rocket and the bird. And we've already said that they're characters, right? So we don't need to put any more sticky notes because we've already seen them. We know who they are. So let's keep looking. Same thing here.
Look at the bird.
There's the bird. There's Rocket.
The bus door.
Rocket, Rocket, Rocket. Rocket, Rocket. There's Rocket.
What the
There's
book?
Rocket and the bird. Same people. Is there something new on here?
Yeah, another dog.
Another doggy. And this is the one they learned to spell grr with. His name is Mr. Barker. Alright, so we're going to put a sticky note right there. We don't need to bark. We're going to put a sticky note right there so that way we know that that's a new character. Alright, same thing here. Who do we see? Rocket and the little bird. Same thing. What about here? Who's new on this page? So we've got Emma and Fred. So we need to put how many sticky notes on this one? How many new characters? So we found 2 new characters on this page, so we're going to put 2 sticky notes on this page. Good job. All right, let's see if that's it. All right. There's Rocket and the bird again. All right, there they are. All right, guys, good job. So we know the characters and how Rocket learned to read, right? All right, guys, so how do we know what a character is in a book? Raise your hand. What is a character, Tristan?
It's something that's in the book and it does different things.
It can do different things in the book. What else, Paisley?